The vortex of owning a home.
Okay.
You know, you buy a house, now you're going to need a lawnmower. You buy a lawnmower, now you're going to need gas. You're going to need gas, now you're going to need oil. Okay, now you got a lawnmower, you need a weed whacker. You buy a weed whacker, you need to buy a weed whacker string. Okay, then you're going to need a garden tractor. Now your neighbor's got a better garden tractor than you do, so now you got to get a better garden tractor. And then it keeps going and going and going until next thing you know, you're in the American dream. It's called debt. So that's what we started doing, was raising organic meat. And then it got to the point where it's profitable enough where I could quit my job at the city. So I quit the city job, which most people thought I was crazy, and started farming full time. And so we did that for how many years?
8.
8 years. And then once we started making it lucrative, I guess you could say, this is when the ethanol stuff started coming into play.
Tell me about that.
And well, we watch all the markets, the gold, the fuel, and all that, because farming is a commodity business. Once the ethanol started coming into play, started raising the price of corn. In farming, especially livestock, your biggest expense is fuel and feed, and the two things have went up and not come down. Is both. So with the markets all high, the corn market was high, the beef market's been high. You know, we were paying anywhere from $1.80 to $2 something a bushel. Well, last time we looked at it, it's $5.50 a bushel.
Wow.
So, you know, trying to buy corn, you know, anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 bushels of corn at $5.50, that's a lot of money. So we decided either we continue farming and slowly go bankrupt for, you know, in the next 30 or 40 years, or we could sell while the market was high and kind of go into semi-retirement and travel. So that is what we decided to do. Well, then once we found the large demand in the workforce, you know, work camping, we said, well, you know, why waste the money of having a house? You know, there's maintenance, there's taxes, there's insurance, there's all that stuff. I mean, you still have insurance on your RV, but it's not anything like it is in a house. The biggest thing is the responsibility of the house. I mean, you know, you got to fix it and everything, you know, and I ain't seen a house yet that don't need something more done to it.
How'd your families react when you told them the news?
They think we're nuts.
They were crazy. They think we're crazy.
But you know, everybody thought we were nuts when we wanted to farm.
Right. I guess the things that we like about it, about work camping, is one, you get to meet new people. Your neighbors are never the same. So it's not like when you live in a home, you know, your neighbors can either get on your nerves or whatever. You know almost every one of your neighbors is short term. You know, even if you're in a spot for 4 to 6 months, you're still, you know that the guy next to you is not going to be there. So you only got to get along for so long, you know. But things we don't like about it, really, I haven't found one thing I don't like about it. I mean, we don't mind doing pretty much any kind of work. It does, you know, we don't complain too much about that. I mean, as far as how long we're going to do it, I don't foresee me not, you know, stopping as long as my health's good and I can drive.
Well, I think the biggest thing is when all you have is food and fuel of your expenses, then you don't really need a whole lot. You don't need that $20 an hour job or whatever.
Right.
You know, $8 an hour is pretty good for, you know, 8, 10, 15, whatever.
And it's about compromise. It's about compromise. I mean,
it's a lifestyle change.
I mean, we go yard selling or something like that. You know, see all this stuff. You're like, oh, I could use it. It's like, no, don't need that. You know, so you gotta really reel yourself in. You know, when it comes as far as your needs, I guess, and your wants.
Do you guys? You still have your property back in Ohio, but what did you do with all your personal belongings?
Sold them.
You sold everything.
Yeah, we had about total 3 auctions, and they're all gone.
Over about 3 years, it almost became an annual thing.
Yeah.
You know, everybody that we met last year, they were all of retirement age, and the best thing that we've learned is that you know, they told us to do it now. Don't wait until you're older. For one thing, you're never promised the next day, and by the time you wait another 20 or 30 years, you just might not even be able to, you know, you might be handicapped, or, you know, you just won't function as well. And everybody told us to do it now, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're on the road.
Yeah.
That, and also, I mean, of course, if a younger person's going to do it, they'd have to, you know, first get some experience. I mean, you definitely need some sort of mechanical knowledge, I believe. I mean, you need, you know, at least know when a sound sounds weird, you know, but and then have to be educated on the rigs, you know, or what type of camper. You know, not all campers are good for full-time living, you know, so that's about really it I can think of. I mean,
yeah, just research it and see if it's really a lifestyle that you would want, and you know, when you have all you need, then what else do you need? You don't need anything else.